Welcome back to Old Charles, where we explore the hidden history and surprising value of old coins from around the world. Today, we're diving into the story of the Philippines' 5 peso coin from 1993, a coin that holds not just monetary worth, but also cultural and historical significance. If you have this coin in your collection, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much it can be worth, how to identify its key features, and what makes it so collectible. Let's start with a little history. The Philippines' 5 peso coin issued in 1993 was part of the Flora and Fauna series of coins, which were first introduced in 1983 by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The 1993 issue is special because it was one of the last designs before the major coinage reform of the mid-1990s. On the obverse side, you'll find a portrait of Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines and a central figure in the country's independence movement. His image on the 5 peso coin symbolizes national pride and the long struggle for freedom. On the reverse side, the coin features the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas seal, with the year of minting, 1993. The coin is made of copper nickel, weighs about 7.7 grams, and has a diameter of 27 millimeters. Unlike modern coins that are smaller and lighter, this 5 peso feels solid in hand, which is why many Filipinos still remember it fondly from daily use. This 5 peso coin circulated widely in the Philippines during the early 1990s. It was a significant denomination at that time, enough to buy small snacks, candies, or even a jeepney ride. For many, it carries nostalgia, reminding them of simpler days when this coin had much more purchasing power than it does today. By the late 1990s, the design began to phase out as newer series were introduced, and eventually, the 1993 5 peso coin became harder to find in circulation. Today, most of them survive in collections, old drawers, or piggy banks tucked away. Now, when it comes to the value of the 1993 5 peso coin, the condition is everything. Let's break it down. Circulated condition ****. If your coin has scratches, wear on Aguinaldo's portrait, or faded details, it will likely fetch only 10 to 30 Philippine pesos in the collector's market. That's about a few cents in US dollars. Very fine to extra fine condition ***. Coins that still show sharp details, with only light signs of circulation, can be worth 50 to 100 pesos to the right buyer. Uncirculated or mint condition ***. Here's where it gets exciting. A 1993 5 peso coin that looks brand new, with no scratches or marks, can be valued anywhere from 150 to 300 pesos, sometimes even higher if sold to a serious collector or through auction sites. Collectors pay more for coins with lustrous shine, clear minting details, and minimal handling. So, is the 1993 5 peso rare? Not exactly. Millions were minted, but what makes it collectible today is nostalgia and the fact that it's no longer used in circulation. Many Filipinos want to keep it as a memory of their childhood or as a symbol of their country's history. International platforms like eBay, these coins sometimes sell $4/$1 to $5 USD, depending on condition and shipping. But remember, most collectors buy them more for sentimental or historical value than for precious metal content, since they are not made of silver or gold. Should you keep your 1993 5 peso coin? Absolutely. While it may not make you instantly rich, coins like these often grow in value over time, especially if kept in pristine condition. As the years pass and fewer of these coins survive in good shape, collectors will pay more. If you own one in uncirculated condition, store it carefully, avoid touching it with bare hands, and keep it in a protective coin holder. Who knows? In another decade, it could be worth much more than today. So, the Philippines' 5 peso coin from 1993 is more than just money. It's a piece of history, a collector's item, and a reminder of a time when a single coin could carry real value in everyday life. To truly understand the importance of the 1993 Philippine 5 peso coin, we need to go back in time and trace the history of Philippine coinage and national identity. Before the 1990s, the Philippines had gone through several changes in its currency system. The peso had experienced inflation during the 1970s and 1980s, which meant that higher denomination coins were needed for daily transactions. The Central Bank of the Philippines, known as Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP, began releasing larger value coins to replace lower value banknotes. In 1983, BSP launched what became known as the Flora and Fauna series of coins. This series was unique because it highlighted two things at once. 1. National heroes, who symbolized the Philippines' long struggle for independence. 2. Flora and fauna, or plants and animals native to the country, showcasing the Philippines' rich biodiversity. This was an important cultural decision. By including both heroes and natural wonders, The coins became not only currency but also educational tools that reminded Filipinos of their heritage every time they used money. The 5 peso coin was the largest denomination coin in the Flora and Fauna series, introduced to replace the paper 5 peso bill, which wore out quickly due to heavy circulation. The 5 peso coin was bigger, heavier, and built to last. When the 1993 version was minted, it carried the portrait of Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines and one of the most iconic figures of the nation's independence movement. Choosing Aguinaldo was symbolic. He led the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule and later declared independence on June 12, 1898, in Kawit, Cavite. His face on the 5 peso coin was a reminder of the country's long struggle to break free from foreign control. The reverse side of the coin displayed the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This seal represented stability, authority, and the role of BSP in guiding the Philippine economy. The 1993 date at the bottom marked not just a year of minting, but also a period of transition. In fact, the early 1990s were a turning point for the Philippines. The economy was recovering from past financial struggles, and BSP was preparing for modernization. In the early 1990s, 5 pesos carried much more value than today. With a single coin, one could buy a jeepney ride, snacks, or even basic groceries. For many Filipinos, the 1993 5 peso coin brings back memories of school days, sari-sari store treats, and the simple joys of childhood. By the late 1990s, the Flora and Fauna series, including the 1993 5 peso, was slowly phased out. In 1995, the Philippines introduced the BSP series of coins, with smaller, lighter designs. This made the older 5 peso coin bulkier and harder to find in circulation. Eventually, the 1993 5 peso became a collector's coin rather than a common everyday piece of currency. Today, the 1993 5 peso coin stands as a snapshot of Philippine history. It captures the legacy of Emilio Aguinaldo, the educational and cultural mission of the Flora and Fauna coinage series, a period when Philippine currency was shifting toward modernization. Owning this coin isn't just about its monetary value. It's about holding a piece of Philippine history in your hand, a reminder of the country's national heroes, natural heritage, and economic struggles of the past. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors that determines value is condition ****. The 1993 Philippine 5 peso coin is no exception. Even though millions of these coins were minted, the way they were handled over the years has created a huge difference in quality and collector desirability. Let's break this down in detail. Collectors around the world use a grading scale to describe the condition of coins. This scale ranges from poor, P1, to mint state, MS, 70. While most 1993 5 peso coins are somewhere in the middle, it's important to understand what each condition means for its value. These coins are heavily worn. The portrait of Emilio Aguinaldo may be nearly flat, the text may be faded, and scratches are common. These usually have very little collector value, maybe 5 to 10 Philippine pesos, since they are mostly considered sentimental rather than collectible. In this condition, Aguinaldo's face is still visible, but you'll notice wear on his hair, clothing, and the lettering. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas seal on the reverse may also look soft. A coin in this grade can sell for 30 to 50 pesos, sometimes higher depending on demand. Coins in this grade have sharper details with only light wear. You can still see the small lines in Aguinaldo's hair, and the date, 1993, is crisp. Collectors start paying more attention to coins in this range, with values around 70 to 100 pesos. These coins show only tiny marks from circulation. The shine is still there, and the details are almost fully intact. This is the condition where collectors really start getting interested. Prices can go from 120 to 180 pesos. Here we're talking about the best of the best. A mint state coin means it was never used in daily circulation. It likely came straight from a coin roll or was stored carefully from the beginning. These coins have no wear, only possible minor scratches from the minting process itself. In this grade, a 1993 5 peso coin can fetch 200 to 400 pesos, and in rare cases even more if sold at auction or to an international collector. Collectors love coins that tell a story, but they also prefer coins that look beautiful. A shiny, well-preserved 5 peso coin shows the portrait of Emilio Aguinaldo clearly and allows us to appreciate the fine details of the minting. On the other hand, a worn-out coin loses much of its character and is less appealing in a display or collection. That's why condition dramatically affects value. Even though two coins might be the same year, The one in better shape can be worth 10 times more if you own this coin. Here are some important tips for preservation. 1. Avoid touching with bare hands. Natural oils and dirt from your skin can leave stains or speed up tarnishing. Always handle coins by the edges or wear cotton gloves. 2. Store in coin holders. Plastic flips, 2x2 cardboard holders, or even professional coin capsules will protect your coin from dust, scratches, and moisture. 3. Keep away from humidity. Moisture can cause spots, corrosion, or green oxidation on copper-nickel coins like this one. Store in a dry environment with silica gel packets if possible. 4. Never clean your coin. Cleaning with chemicals or scrubbing may seem like a good idea, but it actually damages the coin's surface and lowers its value. Collectors prefer the natural look, even with slight toning. A heavily circulated 1993 5 peso coin might sell in bulk lots online for only a few pesos each. An extremely fine piece might sell individually on collector forums for 75 pesos. A mint state example in protective packaging has been seen selling for 250 to 300 pesos on eBay or coin marketplaces. These examples show that condition is the deciding factor between a coin that's common pocket change and one that's a prized collectible. So, if you're lucky enough to have a 1993 Philippine 5 peso coin, take a close look at its condition. Is it scratched and worn, or does it still shine with sharp details? That difference could mean whether it's just a keepsake of the past or a small treasure worth far more than face value.